এই সেশনে যাদের আছে দিয়ে যান চন্দন অধিকারী অন্তরা আছে শোভন মান্ডি বিশ্বাস সংখ্যা তিনজন আছে বিশ্বজিৎ না গাড়ি বলা আছে বাইরের গাড়ি আছে হ্যাঁ বাইরের গাড়ি আছে ওরা পৌঁছা বাড়ি খানা আছে
बैटरी लो डेटा केबल मैम से ले लो
আরেকটা অন্য জায়গায় সেভ উপরে চলে যাচ্ছে উপরে পাঁচতলা দিয়ে যাবে না বেরিয়ে গেছে না
Hello, welcome back to this second technical session. Now we begin our second technical session, which will be chaired by Dr. Partho Sharathi Mukhopadhyay, Associate Professor, Kolani University. Please, sir, come to the dais. And in this session, we have 5 technical papers, along with a tutorial on wiki, which will be presented by Dr. Anirban Ghosh, Associate Professor of Commerce, Netaji Subhas University. Chandan Odhikari is there? Chandan Odhikari. Okay. So now it's over to Dr. Partho Sharathi Mukhopadhyay.
So, welcome back to the second technical session of the conference. So this session, actually, the second session is always a difficult task and challenge. Because after a good lunch, people take to those kind of thing. So my duty is to keep you people awake. And
there is a wiki.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the task of gravity is basically starting with Dr. Anirban Ghosh, associate professor of this particular organized university. So he will be taking a tutorial kind of thing on a very popular platform for you.
Thank you, sir. At the outset, I should confess that I am not an expert of Wiki. Just I have learned on my own. I want to share something with you because this is the age of collaborative learning. I would also like to learn from you. What is Wiki? All of us have learned. Even every day we log on to the Wikipedia. Wiki is an interactive web page, both way. We can see, we can also give our input. Okay. And it is factual and subjective. I may also add something new which is not there. If I have the user ID and password, I can enter into the Wikipedia page and I can edit the material or matter which is already there, or I can give new input. Suppose the seminar is being held at Netaji Subhas University. So if you go, yes, I am talking about Wikipedia. If I go to the Wikipedia page and log on to the Netaji Subhas University, I can include this event. So the Wiki's notion is trusting each other and respecting each other. We cannot give any fallacious information in the web page. So everybody is looking. It is the largest repository of information. Whenever we require any information, first we hit the Wikipedia page. But there is a question of authenticity and reliability because anybody can change the information. It is a risk there. Now, why I am talking about OER Wiki? Because we are talking about the OER. But how do you upload? How do you provide the information to our intended learners? This is the objective of my presentation. I have seen all the papers. No papers discuss about the creation of OER. What is the platform which are available to upload my creation, my paper? So here is a wiki. And for education purpose, we have the Wiki Educator, which is created by Wayne McIntosh, the education specialist of Commonwealth of Learning. And I am also a member of the Wiki Educator. Now, we have two options. One is web whiteboard. Some of you may log on to this site. Let's see whether it is connected or not. So in the classroom, we use the chalk, or nowadays we use a whiteboard writer or pen. But in whiteboard, web whiteboard, there is an option, there is a tool by which you can work on this board. Actually, this is a full day tutorial class. I will take only 10 to 15 minutes to give some idea so that you can try on your own. So, all of us mature enough. This pen, you can write here. You can give formula also. So, these are the tools. Okay, this is the whiteboard. You can solve a problem also. Physics teacher is there. You can use this site tool to teach your student at the remotest place. Now I am talking about Wiki Educator. So to create OER, the first step is available in your hand to create an account on the Wiki Educator page. This is very simple. As we open the email ID on the Google or Yahoo In the same way, you can open an account on Wiki Educator so that you can upload your inputs. You can upload your paper. You can upload your tutorials for the students. And it is open because it is on public domain. And automatically, your quality of your paper will be increased because you can't give the rubbish material. Because there are so many peers who are observing your work. So indirectly, your quality will be improved. This is the ultimate objective of OER also. In the closed door classroom, we can teach anything. There is hardly interaction with the students. But whenever we give a lecture in audiovisual lecture, it is uploaded on the public domain. It is really a challenging job. Because my teacher is observing this class, my students, my peers, my fellow colleagues. So it should be very careful. Objective of the Wiki Educator, development of free content, and how do you create the Wiki web-based material. Here is my account. I can show later on. And every month, the Paul Comment of Learning who maintains the page awards the Wiki account holder. And in February 15, my page was awarded the user page expo. Now the procedure. How do you create OER? How do you create an account? Because I have created a paper, I have developed a paper, I have given a class note to the students in the class. Now I want to upload. How? We don't have our own website. There is a procedure. If you have the Wiki Educator account, you can upload the material. Here only I will discuss up to four tutorials because the later stage it becomes harder and harder. Now first stage is creating an account. How do you create? In the same way as we open an account in the email ID. So you have to go to the user page. This is a Wiki Educator page and it is maintained by the Commonwealth of Learning. This is a Wiki Educator for which we are talking about. So if you want to open or if you are interested to open an account in Wiki Educator, you have to go to the home page. That is a Wiki Educator. Now in home page, you will get on right hand corner the create account. Create account. Some information are required as we open the email ID. So all information to be given to have a Wiki Educator account. So you have open. It will look like this. This is my Wiki Educator page. This is a login ID. But for the first user, you have to create the account on the right hand corner. It is given, the option is there. Some information is to be given, and then you will have your own account. Now the page is open. Now the next step is the editing step. I want to edit this page. I have created this page. It is available on public domain. You can see, you can use, but you can't change anything because you don't have the password. So I have to log on to my page for editing purpose, for addition purpose. I want to give some more input, some more notes to be added. So I have to log in. Let's see whether now I want to edit my page. editing option has come. Edit. There are two options. One is a whole page you may edit, or this particular portion may be edited. So if you want to edit the entire page, you have to go the top, the edit source. The edit source. This page will come. Now you can write here. Anything you can write. I do not want to change right now. Now, if anything is changed, save page. So entire page will come before you to edit, to input something new. Now, if you want to edit a specific portion, if you want to edit my profile, see there is also two options, edit and edit source. So you may go to the particular section for editing. So for editing purpose or for inclusion any new page, you have to know the syntax. Syntax means the writing tool. I have already discussed the toolbar, the syntax will appear. New page you may create, but for this purpose, you have to know the syntax. There is a detailed syntax, list of syntax. Everything is available online. It is open. This is the syntax. If you want to bold your matter, if you want to create a section, subsection, use the left hand side. These are the syntax. These are the syntax. If you write on the editing page, you will get the subsection, and then subsection. These are the tools. These are syntax. You need not to make any writing in words. You have to use this syntax. Then the final version would be this. So this is the procedure. This is a preliminary discussion. It is actually whole day's program. So that's all. You may try at your home, and then we may also discuss online, because I have learned from Sanjay Mishra. He is now at Vancouver. There is a course on the Wiki Educator online. I have learned through online and on my own. I have created this page. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Bose. Just finished in time. It's really difficult to finish a tutorial kind of thing in time.
Yes.
Thank you very much. So now, I think everybody present in this session, all the presenters, we have already checked their presence. Fine.
Only third paper presented is absent. Sogun is not.
Swagat Pandit. Oh, yeah.
Oh.
You are not.
মেল করে দিয়েছো? তোমার যখন টার্ম আসবে কথা নিয়ে আছে কোন মেলে আছে আমার মেলে তোমার মেলে
Okay, let this technical arrangement
Thank you,
be
sir.
over. In the meantime, so particularly this session is slightly technology oriented. In the first session, we have seen most of the questions related to the philosophy of information ethics, media ethics, and other things. We are coming to a real world. It's a technology dominated session, and most of the papers are related with either blended learning or MOOCs. Now to set the background, let me just give you a particular overview of this particular session. That we started OER management and digital learning environment right from the 70s. Started with the e-learning, came to digital learning environment. Then virtual communication tools like Wiki, blogs, all attached with that. We got virtual learning environment. And finally, when virtual learning environment got integrated with different kind of student information system and in-house databases, we call it managed learning environment. So MOOC is basically a managed learning environment. It's really massive. Basically, 3 platforms are working on it. That is edX, created by MIT and Harvard, then Udacity and Coursera. And you will be amazed to know these three platforms includes till date 5,000 plus courses, 5 billion plus registered users. And it is interesting to note also that most of the registered users are from US, 27%, and then come India. Second best is India, around 9%. So 9% of the whole MOOC registered learners are from India. You are ready? Okay. So I'll take another thing. But one problem with the MOOC is that of these 5 billion registered users, only 7 to 8% finally completes the course. So with this session, we are going to investigate what daily movement, why only 7 to 8% people are completing this. So with this one, we are starting with our first presentation by Chandran Adhikari. We will be talking about blended learning. And please note everybody, we are going to give every speaker 10 minutes, and I will take at least 3 questions from the audience. Thank you. Please go.
Good afternoon, respected chairperson, distinguished guests, and respected colleagues. My topic is blended learning, a strategy for fostering open educational resources. First of all, I am not a researcher or expert in this field. My intention is to incorporate some rigid component in learning through open educational resources. All the daily activities of our life are nothing but the set of skills or combination of complex skills or integrated skills. Skills which includes the ability to do something effectively and efficiently. Perhaps there are two broader type of skills, mainly hard skills and another is soft skills. Hard skills are associated with our cognitive and psychomotor domain. That is, cognitive domain means the domain which deals with thinking aspect, that is hard aspect. On the other hand, psychomotor domain, which is exclusively applicable for development of skills, hands-on activity, that is doing aspect. On the other hand, soft skills are involved for hard aspect, that is feeling aspect, which are used for development of attitude, habit, behavior, feelings, values, that is day-to-day life. Interpersonal communications are associated with our feeling aspect or hard aspect. When we are considering online learning, emphasis is laid on development of cognitive and psychomotor domain, left behind the development of hard aspect. Again, when we consider our present day process oriented teaching learning, that covers the pedagogical aspects, that is more emphasis is given towards the development of attitude, values, that is how people learn is more emphasized rather than what people learn. That is, process oriented skills should be developed in addition to product oriented skills. That is the way of sustainable learning. My perception is, when we consider online learning, we cannot neglect the concept of feeling aspect. Feeling aspect is only possible when we consider face-to-face learning. So, if we incorporate face-to-face learning in addition to open learning, then the learning will be meaningful or significant. What is blending? Blending is nothing but mixing. Here, face-to-face learning, that is human component, and online learning, that is technology-driven component, should be incorporated in different percentage to give rise blended learning. That is, the overlap integral is the blended form, and when the value of overlap integral is maximum, blended learning will be maximum, and that is why effectiveness of learning through online resources will be meaningful. When we consider face-to-face learning, which are involved with personalized feedback motivation. Again, technology driven learning is based on self study, reduced cost, increased risk, so many factors. So at a glance, we have to incorporate face-to-face and virtual learning. This is all the considerations of both the aspects are hybridized or mixed up or blended. And this is the strategies which covers all the aspects of blended learning, that is pedagogical aspects, technological aspects, interface design, evaluation, management, resource support, ethical and institutional. In our country, when we consider institute like IGNOU, NSOU, here neither the fully online learning or the face-to-face interaction are not fully incorporated into our designed curriculum. Only some PCP courses or workshops or other school-based activities are introduced. And there are some kind of face-to-face interaction. On the other hand, learning through online e-learning is totally neglected or not well practiced. So, both integration of both the component should be incorporated in our open learning situation or open and distance learning mode. So, in short, we may confer blended learning is basically hybrid or mixed mode of learning. This is a integrated learning. This is a concept of meta learning and obviously pedagogical approach that it combines both individual learning as well as considering the social context, social constructivist approach in learning. So collaborative as well as individual instruction should be encouraged in our teaching learning situation in order to foster sustainability of learning. These are the modes of how to implement open educational learning through blended approach. I am not going details. This is a combined form of blended learning, where if we consider the total number of students in three groups, group 1, at first we motivate group 1 to participate in teacher-led small group instruction. Teacher-led small group instruction. The group 2, we should provide the group 2 independent and collaborative practice during the same session, and group 3, the personalized and online instruction. Better, there should be a orientation or simulation of the groups. Ultimately, after the completion of the time, all the three groups will be equipped in both teacher-led instruction, independent and collaborative practice, as well as personalized and online instruction. And this is not so difficult to provide in our present day teaching learning situation. This is the approach of providing blended learning for a time schedule of 90 minutes. Group 1 first consider the online personalized online learning, whereas during this period group 2 are participating in face-to-face interaction, and group 3 in collaborative approach, and simultaneously by rotation a through simulated program all the component are covered. These are the facilities of blended learning, and the role of the mentor should be to encourage such type of learning. So, cherish and empower each side towards blended learning. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you, Chandan. We talked about blended learning and different kind of learning mode. Social constructive theory, this theory also comes in your presentation. So now I invite questions from the audience.
Sir, the traditional university which provides the DODL, distance education learning, they have provided the 5-day, the Saturday and Sunday, the class to class, face to face, and the 5 day they provide the basic e-question. they provide the e-materials. So that is all already consist in our society.
Sir,
That is.
in a preliminary stage, but
That is
we
already
are
consist.
unconsciously conducting.
Blended is already exist in our society. Blended learning.
I think blended learning is a democratic approach. And extreme side there is traditional learning. Then when I incorporate first ICT, use of ICT, then mixing it started. First use of ICT, then enhance ICT, then blended learning, then pure online learning. So blended learning is the hybrid mixture of both the learning.
Blending is everywhere. You actually
But-
first a model.
And consciously, we have to incorporate in a conscious mode.
Any other question, please? So thank you, Chandra.
Thank you.
Next, I am calling Altora Choudhury.
Good afternoon, everybody. With the permission of chairperson, I'm going to present here. My topic is MOOC, a new era in education, opportunities and challenges. From the morning, we are talking about OER, and with the line of OER, the other associated MOOCs like MOOC is one of the common and emerging trend now, which is coming, that is massive open online courses. So, again, I've taken this from Wikipedia, what just in the beginning of this session, Dr. Ghosh introduced with us. We are always using this Wikipedia, but even I was not very much aware of that wiki educator terms. So this also from Wikipedia. The massive open online course is an online course aimed at unlimited participation and open access via web. In addition to traditional course materials such as film, lecture, reading and problem sets, many MOOCs provide interactive user forum to support community interaction between students and professors. MOOC are a recent and widely researched development in distance education, introduced in 2008, and now there are like EDX, there are organizations, or better to say agencies, they are conducting different courses, very interesting those courses. Even I want to share with you in EDX, from our School of Education, we are also conducting a MOOC course on enhancing teacher education through OER, where we are actually that course, it is about how to develop OER and how to use OER in teacher education courses. So I'll share with you. As I already said that MOOC is what massive means. There is no limitation, no intake capacity like so and so intake. Massive number or large number of students or researchers or even the educators can enroll. Then open again there are two levels actually. It's written that registration is open to anyone around the world. There are courses where there is no such uh, limit or any such criteria like so and so courses have to be passed or the person have to be graduate to do that course. That kind of minimum eligibility criteria, most of the MOOC courses they don't have yet till date. And online, obviously, it's a completely online course. Even the assignments are there, then blogs are there, and you have to submit your assignment through online. And mostly quiz type of things are given. And the course, they are similar to college courses but don't offer credit. Even the MOOC courses, though they are running different courses, I don't know how many of you you must have aware of the courses they are running. Very interesting those courses, but how much credentials or how much credits that will give to our professional development or in industry, that is yet to think or yet to discuss. The original aim of MOOCs was to open up education and provide free access to university level education for as many students as possible, as I told earlier. In contrast to traditional university online course, MOOC have two key features. What are these two key features? Open access and scalability. Open access, anyone can participate. Scalability means courses are designed to support an indefinite number of participants. That is, to accommodate the growth. How many may be the number of candidates or number of participants? It can be accommodated in such a way that all of them get equal opportunities to learn. There are two types of MOOCs, XMOOC and CMOOC. XMOOC focus on scalability and CMOOC focus on community and connections. And MOOC, see how it is illustrated, massive. Massive means number of, it may be 10 lakhs more maybe. Then openness, open content, then mostly they're free of cost, the courses are free of cost, and for some, they give some certification for that, they charge something. Otherwise, it is a free of cost. You can register free of cost. Real-time interaction, self-paced, but here also that self-paced, as I'm also doing a MOOC course right now, I'm enrolled with a MOOC course, so I can share with you all that self-space. They have already set some dates, like what I am now doing the course. It is a 6-week course, and each week you have to submit. After each week of tutorial, you have to submit a assignment kind of thing. And if you don't submit that, you will lose the certificate. It's like that. So it's not fully self-paced. We can't say like that in that way. As a start end dates. Some MOOCs they are having start end dates. College credit badge, that is again a big question. Then role of the instructor or role of the teachers. Here also there are facilitators are there. Like EDX, the course they are running, there is a facilitator is there, but the exact role of the facilitator is not very clear. Instructional design. Because of massive enrollment, MOOCs require instructional design. The two basic approaches are peer review and group collaboration. And secondly, automated feedback through objective, online assessment, as for example, quiz, grading of written assignment is also underway. These are all different types of assessment or evaluation criteria are there in MOOC courses. Like you have, in some cases, you have to just go through a topic, go through a video clippings, and then you have to write something on it, and you have to submit. Then that will be peer reviewed also. There is a scope of peer reviewed, and sometimes there is a blogs also. You can post your there is a discussion blog. You can post your things on that blog. As sir was saying, no, there are agencies like EDX, Coursera, Udacity. These are all the agencies which are running or conducting courses. Now, issues and challenges. Sustainability. There is no clear business model, as most of the MOOCs are free. So, till date, no such business model. It is, the courses are free, of course, mostly. So, how to money matter is also there. Like the universities are collaborating with these agencies to run the courses only for promoting their courses. But if think from the business side, it is again questionable. Then again, quality and completion rates. There is lack of structure, not for all the MOOC courses, but there are number of courses are there now available, but most of them are lack structure. Role of the instructor, as I already discussed, then is not so clear. Then self-directed learning demand a certain level of digital literacy. This is also very important. As we are talking from the morning that but basic things what we need, at least a smartphone or a tab. At least we need in hand the students who are going through this OER, or if they want to avail those MOOC courses. And again, there is another problem what we are also facing, that bandwidth. Like in net connection is there, but for the video streamings, it takes lots of time. So even in some cases there are 3G or 4G connections also. It is difficult to get the videos immediately. So these are the problems. These are the challenges.
Another 2 minutes, ma'am.
Yes. Okay, sir. Then assessment and credit, I already discussed that through quizzes, open responses, peer engagements are there. Do not offer academic credit, that also I have discussed already. In some cases, they offer a certificate or a badge kind of thing. So, lack of accreditation, technology ownership and bandwidth is a problem. Then again, time zone. There are MOOC courses where there is a scope for open forum, live discussion forum. But again, as it is a course for all the throughout our countries, anyone can enroll. So even if I am here and from UK, if I want to discuss something in open forum, the time zone is very important thing. And the volume of information, that is in OER case also, the stream, lots of informations are coming, but how to screen those information, what is important for me, I have to take that. So that is also a big problem. So MOOC promised to open up higher education by providing accessible, flexible, affordable and fast-track completion of university courses. Just 1 minute, sir. I want to just show them that EDX site, so that you can also access. How many of you all have access with EDX site or MOOC courses? Any view? Yes, you are from our School of Education. Yes, madam. I just another 2 minutes. This is a site edx.org. You will get very many interesting courses are there in this site. It's available. Upcoming courses are also, you can go through these courses. There are number of courses. See, the science of happiness, that is a very interesting names are also given those courses. So for our own development also we can use at least now. So you have to register first. I'll just show you the thing what we are I'm doing in our School of Education where
Close our eyes. It's very difficult.
No.
It will be difficult. No problem. You can open your eyes.
see, I have also registered me with this course also, the science of happiness. So now this is the course what already we are running. We are already engaged with this course. See, the courseware, how this course is enhancing teacher education through OER in collaboration with TESS India. It's a very good course for the teacher educators. See, there are weeks, 6 weeks course as I told. There is a courseware like week 1, week 2 there are, and for each week there is a review system. Like see, week 1 there is a review system. Review your learning through quiz. There is a quiz. You have to write true, false, and you can after giving true, false, you can check your answer by show answer. But you cannot change at that time, but you can see. So immediate feedback is given. Like this, there are, see, using video to support teacher development. There is some videos, and after going through those videos, you have to write something on it. Even at the end of the week, you have to develop your own OER. This way it is, and there is a discussion forum as I earlier told.
I think they simply understood.
Yes. Okay.
Thank you, madam.
Yes. Thank
Any
you.
question? Meanwhile, from the audience.
These courses are now affiliated. Can I spoke to the interview body that I have learned this course from
These are affiliated courses, but these are all university also associated with these agencies. No, they are tie up with the agencies, and these courses are affiliated courses. But the thing is, how much credit will be given to you, as it is a new concept till date. So maybe in future there will be some more.
One thing I think I should mention
Yes, sir.
here,
Please.
courses are affiliated, the context has to be thought of first, because in case of India,
Yes.
suppose in the preliminary session, someone has mentioned that UGC itself is not recognizing these online courses. But contradictorily, UGC is, itself is preparing its own books and OER.
Yes.
Now, his question is whether he is going to credit in the interview. Ultimately, are these courses recognized?
Actually, we are missing the very essence of MOOC. MOOC is not meant to give you certificates.
Exactly.
Just to give you knowledge. If you go through the, as ma'am said, if you go through the different content to analysis of different courses, you see they are focusing on the skill development. In different, the mental faculty, the different kind of desktop skills. So it's not about the degrees, it's about the knowledge first of all. And second is that affiliation. Suppose you are from Kolkata, I know. Sitting in Kolkata, you can have a degree from the Stanford University, which is basically a dream of the student. Whether it is giving you some employment credit or something like that during the interview, that does not matter. The very focus is different, the philosophy is different. And as Sambo said, that the UGC is, protesting as well as they are preparing. It's not like that. The thing is that the whole Ministry of HRD wants to come with a new platform. They don't want to use edX, which is developed by MIT and Harvard and Coursera and university. They are basically charging universities to open up the courses. So their plan, we will come as an Indian version of books platform. These are called platform. Then we will allow our university to open courses. So that is our approach. It's not kind of a tag of between yeah.
He's asking about the recognition.
No, recognition that is in the mechanistic sense. Yeah. You are getting a certificate from Harvard, MIT, so it's really okay, ma'am. Thank you very much. So may I call upon the third speaker? Again, it's on MOOCs. So good morning. You are you are presenting Somnath Hacha. It's a 3 authored paper. So good morning, Supriya বিশ্বাস and Somnath Hacha, and the third author is going to. Please.
Good afternoon to all. Our paper is MOOCs and its possibility in Indian open and distance education system. Actually, we have got the idea of the paper from a national seminar was arranged by the Ramakrishna Mission Institute of Culture, where our present MHRD minister Sriti Irani has come and announced that MOOCs will be launched in India in December 2015. Then we have got the idea of the paper. And our paper.
Today there is meeting is going on the SPARM platform.
Thank you. Yes. Already our previous presenter mentioned about the MOOCs, about the top-down MOOCs.
My suggestion to you, Somnath, you may avoid the general things to directly come to your topic because most of the features already covered.
Our present Indian higher education system, if we review, present scenario of Indian higher education is that there is not mentioned first that the GER in rural areas is 11.06 and 19.03 in urban areas between the age 18 and 22 years, which is not satisfactory after 65 years of independence. And India is trying to meet 30% GER by 2030. So there is a great need of universities to meet the higher education courses in India. So there is a great need of MOOCs in India. And there is review of some popular MOOCs which our earlier presenter have already mentioned. There is also EDX, Khan Academy, there are some popular MOOCs platforms. Next, there are possibility of MOOCs in non-formal education. Actually, non-formal education is associated with the open and distance learning of India. In the non-formal sector, the MOOCs will do some benefits. First, MOOCs provide the flexibility to the learner to learn at her pace and select the instructor and organize her choice. There is a scope for flexibility of the learner. Next, as educational designing of non-formal program greatly rely on the principles of adult education, it may bring the power of social network-based learning, which will guide the learner in taking better responsibility in their learning. There are some features of adult learning which is associated with the features of MOOCs. Adult learning has some flexibility. MOOCs has also some flexibility. Next, MOOCs will offer a way to gain new skills which are not naturally taught in formal sectors. Actually, our SAT, respected SAT, has already said that MOOCs also have some special emphasis on skill development. There is also the point that MOOCs will develop some special skills on in life. Next, which MOOCs in non-formal sector can range from adult to the children, like education, soft skill areas like English and communication, functional skills areas like skills and ICT and other skill enhancement courses. So the point is that MOOCs will develop some skills like soft skill, English and communication skill, functional skills in the all areas of learning through ICT. Next, MOOCs in Indian formal system. Formal system is a traditional classroom system. MOOCs will offer some flexibility about the time, about the place, about the manner of, about style of learning in the formal education system. Next, MOOCs can break or MOOCs can break down the long semester system into small segments of learning. It will offer some flexibility to the learner. The third point is that MOOCs and SPOCs, SPOCs, small private online courses. These are to cater a large body of fee-paying students admitted regular institutions that are distributed across various locations. MOOCs will offer courses at some low costs. There are so many courses of learning in higher education. MOOCs will offer some low cost courses through MOOCs. Next, here are no fundamental change in necessary in respect to the curriculum-based classroom lecture can completely transform into digital content. Our classroom lecture will be transformed into digital content. Less expert professor will require as digital contents one produced and by expert can be used by students simultaneously worldwide. MOOCs, if there are some content material or learning material, will be also made by the expert professors. There is no need or less need of the expert professor to develop next time the materials. Next, a blended model can be introduced which will enable the students the satisfactory level increase and reach for the larger audience. It will reach up to the larger audience, the material will reach to the all students or all areas of learning. Next, third sector, in informal sector. In the informal sector, informal learning is also, we have already known that the nature of the informal learning is massive, online and open. MOOCs will give badge system, popularly badges, can be provided evidence in formal learning, which can be later included in formal and informal courses. There are badgetary system. Badgetary system means if we complete the courses, a badge will be given to you as like the certificate. Badge is very popular in MOOCs. Next, gamification is an innovative tool for informal learning which can create a powerful informal learning environment. Gamification is the use of games in different sectors. In sectors of learning, like as if you want to learn, or if you want to learn French language, there is a gamification through the first time words, then sentences, then passages, then others and others. So the learning model will be like the game model, through words, through sentences, and through passages, through the model. These are the three sectors that MOOCs can enrich in India, like formal sector, informal sector, non-formal sector. Then there are some challenges in India in implementing MOOCs. First of all, we have already entered through the Digital India program in the arena of technology. It is a mammoth work or mammoth tasks throughout the India, and 11 sectors are already included in the program. So there is a mammoth task. First, creating of digital content is a big challenge. Creating of digital content is a big challenge, especially in rural India. Already urban India already are acquainted with the digital world, or most of all acquainted with the digital world. But in the rural India, it is very poor in condition. Next, infrastructure. Infrastructural issue is second great issue to apply MOOCs in India, because there are some villages where we cannot provide mobile till the date. Next, addressing regional disparity. regional disparity is a great problem in Indian education scenario. Regional disparity, especially in Northeast, is very low in educational scenario, very poor in educational scenario, Northeast. So MOOCs will provide some, we think that MOOCs will provide some special attention, or MOOCs will give some special space to the Northeast region of India. Next, switchable techniques. MOOCs in India, there need some switchable techniques to the admission of the courses, at the end of the courses, and there are some certification or something recognition from the courses, and they are, our MHRD is thinking about the matter, about the structure and matter of the MOOCs. Next, quality concern. Quality concern is a great factor in online sector. So regarding quality, our MHRD ministry should take the attention that the quality of the online courses should be maintained. Next, in conclusion, we can say that there are 3 programs already MHRD has launched. First is NIF, National Institutional Ranking Framework. Next, GAN, Global Initiative of Academic Network, and Digital India. These programs are already running successfully through MHRD. So we can hopefully say that MOOCs will be run successfully by our MHRD ministry in it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Finally, completion. So I'm now asking you some questions for the audience. Otherwise, I have a question. So you first. So suppose you pointed out very nicely 2 important things. One is the G differs from region to region, city to village, even within the same city, region to region. So North Calcutta and South Calcutta will be again different. And G here is a very important aspect. Our equivalent countries like Brazil, China, they have GI in higher education around 36%, and you still struggling with the 21 to 22%. So that's the issue. MOOC can play a vital role here. You pointed out rightly. But another important issue is a little bit technical. That future of MOOC is gamification. This is future of MOOC gamification.
Future MOOCs gamification.
You pointed out that possibly the gaming model will be there, and that is also predicted by the expert. That MOOC in the current textual format will not be existing. It will be the future of MOOC is gaming. It will be a gaming kind of.
Actually, gamification in the point. Gaming is a popular style, a popular culture in the learning of language. I think all of you are already aware about the matter. If we learn language, game is very important. So, in the MOOCs, if we try to implement like language education or like the learning of language in some other aspects, the thinkers or the experts from the science stream or the social science stream will think about the matter, and they will give us some solution about the gamification like language education in social science education or science education or that matter.
Sir, the abacus system is the gamification system. Abacus.
Slightly, but it's not. Please, thank you.
Thank you.
So next I'm calling upon Popular on the path. Again, it is related to the issue.
Respected chairperson and learned audience, I'm sorry. First, I have no presentation because of technological problem, technical problem. But I say something about my paper is Open Educational Resources, Opportunities and Challenges. The terms of open educational resources was first introduced at the conference hosted by UNESCO in 2000 and was promoted in the context of providing free access to educational resources on the global scale. There is no authoritatively definition for the term OER at present. The most often used definition of OER is digitized material offered freely and openly for educators, students, and self-learners to use and reuse for teaching, learning, and research. My objective of this paper is to discuss on the conceptual and contextual issues of open educational resources, to study the open educational resources models and policies, to know the major challenges, and also to discuss the trend of emerging in open educational research resources with respect to future research and activities of. First of all, there has been significant emphasis placed in OER discuss on the quality of OER. This marks the concept of resource-based learning material, learning, particularly internet. Uh, Despite this, debates over OER have typically made little reference to the concept of resource-based learning until recently. This may be because the emphasis in most global OER discussion has been on the sharing and licensing of existing materials, a significant promotion of which has included simply sharing lecture notes and PowerPoint presentation used in face-to-face lecture. It means moving away from the traditional notion of the talking teacher to communicate curriculum. A significant but varying proportion of communication between students and educators is not face to face, but rather take place through the use of different media as necessary. Resource-based learning is not resource-based learning is not for distance education only. It is rather resource-based learning provides a basis of transforming the culture of teaching across all educational systems to enable those systems to offer better quality education to significantly larger number of students. Many courses and programs at all levels of education now incorporated extensive use in infrastructurally designed resources, and educators have learned the limitations of lecture-based strategy for communicating information of students. The use of resource-based learning does not, of course, imply an improvement in quality of learning experience. The extent to which shifting the communication of curriculum to instructionally designed resource leads improve the quality of education depends entirely on the quality of resource development. Now, so many models are there, empowerment model, the project obtain best funding and fund administrator manage this best funding and the project sustainable from the interest earned on the fund. Membership model also is there. The interest organization is invited to contribute a certain sum either as said only some annual contribution of subscription like this, and donation model, a project deemed to the support by the wider community request receive donation. Numbers of open sources and open content projects are funded in this manner, and contributor pay model, mechanism that contributor pay for the cost of maintaining the contributor and the provider thereafter makes some contribution available for free. And sponsorship model also is there. This model from open access that is available is most home, free radio, television like this. And institutional model, and institutional will assume the responsibility itself for OER initiatives, and governmental model, funding of our OER project directly come from government agency. Therefore, we must say OER initiatives have different goals and exist in different institutional contexts. No single funding model fit every project. Policies is there, so many policies there like following areas should be addressed like curriculum development, financial support, intellectual properties, culture of sharing, assessment and accreditation, quality assurance, staff development, student support, technical infrastructure, software, etc. What policies change and need for institution to make more effective use of OER. Like first thing we say provision in policy to clearly on IPR and copyright also. And next thing is human resource policy guided. ICT policy is there, and material development and quality assurance is there. A logical consequence of considering human resource policy will be development or upcoming updating of costing resourcing the performance management system so that they reward staff for the following: time spent in developing educational resources, using resource-based learning where it is more effective than lecturing, sharing their intellectual capital through global knowledge network to improve their resources and to raise both their and their institutional profile. Major challenges are issues. Major challenges is there. Uh, Encourage institutional rather than just individual pioneer faculty. Situated OER collections not as distinct from the courseware environment for the formally enrolled student, but as a low marginal cost of the for the student, and encouraging the membership based and explore role students in creating, enhancing, and adopting OER also. Now, some recommendations is there. In my opinion, the following recommendations will be needed to advocacy and promotion of OER. Expanding advocacy of promotion of OER as vehicles for improving the quality of learning and teaching in education. Legal expertise in developing and explaining business model that justify, and program course materials design and develop expertise, technical expertise also, monitoring and evaluation practice, and finally, I say, although there are growing number of OER initiatives, and more institutions and individuals are sharing their digital learning sources over the internet freely and openly. Many fundamental questions still remain, not least of which are the drives of people, institution and funding bodies. There is a need for further discussion and deeper exploration for the number of issues this context. The discussion earlier in this paper, there are number of established model. However, there is a lack of research evidence relating to effectiveness and sustainability of this model. Any funding of OER should include panel research studies to support committees so that OER is must be developed future. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Any question? If not, I would like to invite the final speaker of this session, Mr. now. So, you are Mr. So, first order is good. Most of the generic feature related to MOOCs you can bypass. Like, but
I'm not expert of these MOOCs. I'm present that MOOCs are enhancing the teachers to develop their professional expertization. So MOOCs provide an easy way to continually find upward content. MOOCs are generally flexible enough in their scheduling, fit in with our teachers' busy lives. Finally, the availability of free content and resource found in the some MOOCs could provide the teachers with additional resource for teaching in their classroom. Necessity for teacher professional development. The teacher professional development represent a conundrum that perfectly enhance incapacitable the systematic problems with the education which we have a society. there is a real need for teacher to keep up with the rapid pace of educational innovations and technology for learning as well as change in their primary content areas. To use of, obstacles of the cost and their cost and times, student like uh, d- uh, uh, between teachers and their student, they feel their professional development needs. If some teachers uh, uh, express their knowledge in professional ways, teachers are expected to nearly continuously take classes or attend training that will enhance their ability to do their jobs better. So, different dimension of marks in teacher professional development. The first one is free of cost, and it's flexible, means all times, all way. It's gathered knowledge to how we express the knowledge in teaching profession, and adaptability. Lots of new techniques are adapted for demonstrate or express the knowledge, and ongoing process which are doing in research field, and useful classroom resources that which teaching aids or others, how we use those things in classroom situation, and self teaching, how we teach, how much I teach, and how we develop our teaching professional. So utility of model of teaching learning process, the information and communication technology, that is ICT, in which e-learning, e-teaching, and e-teachers are built in the components, has some impacts on the teaching learning process. Model is a design to help the teacher by facilitating the management of educational courses.
I think this will you are making a conceptual mistake. It is a NCMS, Learning Content Management System. It's a software. It's not tools. It's a platform. So which you can design and different type of courses. And MOOCs is an NCMS made for an individualistic approach for a single institution. So you are mixing up things. We are now just doing, just crossing over the NCMS with the institution. You are coming back to like, I think it's anyway.
My input part is to books everywhere in India, not only India but outside of India. All teachers are efficiently teach their teaching topics through learning in books platform.
So actually that is the thing. So NCMS is for a single organization, you are handling 1,000 concurrently. But MOOCs as a platform, open platform, you are handling millions of learners at the same time. So anyway, thank you. Any question from the audience? Okay then, thank you all the speakers, all the 5 speakers, and all of you who are present in the audience right from the beginning of the session. We started with there were 3 papers on MOOC. We discussed different facets of MOOCs and different interactive and live sessions also went upon. And we also discussed earlier one of the faculty member of NSOUICT, and finally we shared with some other teachers. So thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, and thanks to you all for this wonderful session. Now I'm declaring closing this day, not the sessions. Actually, we will start tomorrow at sharp 10:30. So please be here within 10:30, and we will close our conference. We will try actually before our last session.
Ma'am, there are two sessions in this.
There are 3 sessions actually.
No, from 10:30 there are 2 sessions.
Yes, obviously.
Parallel.
So, okay, bye. Have a good day.
हाँ मनी ओवर हो गया हाँ हाँ फीडबैक भी आ गया अच्छा था चलो आप सब हाँ आप सब यहाँ से नहीं कल तो कल हम लोग को कवर नहीं कर नहीं हाँ हाँ बाकी हाँ नहीं वैसे कल